So the other day I showed you guys how I installed that Raptor style grill in my Tacoma, and I told you I was going to show you how to wire up those amber LEDs. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is how I wired up these amber LEDs and how I wired them to the side marker lights. And as always, I'll make sure that I link everything I used in this video in the video description down below. That way if you guys want to put some of these amber LEDs on your cars, you can do it. Now these amber LED lights do sit pretty flush with the grill. They don't protrude too much. I do wish that they would have been a little bit darker in the background, but that's okay. They still look good. Now, first thing you're gonna wanna do is run a tape measure across the center of this grill and figure out exactly where your midpoint is, and that's where your middle light is gonna be installed. And then you're gonna figure out halfway between these 2 points, that's where that one will be installed, and the same thing on the right side. The hardest parts of installing these amber LEDs was drilling into this grill so that they could sit in there. Because when you use a drill bit on something like this, where it's just this metal, the drill bit likes to bite. So what I actually used were just some little wire pinchers, and I used that to clip the holes around, and then I was able to install those LEDs. I pulled out one of the amber LEDs so I could show you guys how they mounted in. You can see there's a little bit of a lip, so when you make that hole in your grill, you want to make sure that it's got enough space that it's just big enough for the threading to go through, and then there's some locking washers on the back side. And that just pushes in and it screws on. A lot of the videos that I've seen where they wire up the LED lights into the grill, they just tap into the side marker light right there and they just splice that wire, but I didn't like the idea of that. So I went about it a little bit differently. So the way that I chose to do this is my truck already has an alarm system installed. That's what this whole mess of wiring is for. But the alarm system had to tap into the side marker lights so that when I locked the truck, they would flash. And so there's already a splice in this wire, and the wire that connects to the side marker lights is this green wire right here. It's right there. You can see that's about the third connector down. So that was already spliced in with this white wire, and so I just used that same splice and I soldered in my power wire for my marker lights, and I ran that. I did connect a fuse in there, and then I ran this through the firewall. And then from here, what I did, so I pushed that through the firewall, and you can see right there that cable housing, and that's where that wire is running through. So it runs along that side of the truck and it pops out just right here. And this is where the extra power cable is. I'm just gonna connect this power wire to the LED lights, and then I'll ground it just right here by the battery, right here. And that way it has a much cleaner look, and you don't have to worry about splicing into the headlight wire in the engine bay. I ran each one of those wires through that wire housing, and it comes out just right here by the battery. I wired those into one positive and one negative, and then what I did is I actually used this waterproof connector to connect it all together, and then this power wire is the one that runs back through the engine bay into the firewall and inside the cab of the truck. And then the negative one I just ran right there. And that way, if I ever need to pull the grill out, I can just detach this waterproof connector and I can pull the grill out without having to undo all the wiring. This is what the amber LEDs look like during the day. They're definitely bright enough to be noticed. I'll show you guys what they look like at night as well. The side marker, 3 amber LEDs, and the side marker. Thanks a ton for watching, guys. If you found the video was helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will link everything I used in the video in the video description below. We'll see you around.